something whispers in the shadows today, and it's not just my inner goblin craving glitter. No, today we're making a chilling little display piece, my witch's message scroll. It's part mystery and 100% a vibe for this Halloween. Stay tuned. So for this DIY, you're going to need these printables. I will have these for free down in my description box below. You are more than welcome to use them. I'm also going to have some kind of display case, so you can use a picture frame from the Dollar Tree, or you can use a Dollar Tree sign turned backwards, or you can use a cloche. You're also going to need some distress ink, some moss, some hot glue, some scissors, and yeah, you're going to need all kinds of goodies and whatever you want to use. So let's get started. First thing we're going to start working on is the scroll construction. And what I did is I went ahead and printed it on craft paper, and I cut it out and trimmed it so that it's small enough for me to work with. And once I did that, I'm just going to wad it up. I want this thing to have all kinds of wrinkles in it and just look very aged. Now this is the inside of the scroll, and you're going to be able to see the outside. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to turn it over, and I'm going to take my stamp block. I got this from Hobby Lobby. It's just a script stamp. I really like it. And I'm just going to stamp the whole back side of this scroll because this part you are going to see. Once I have it all stamped, I'm going to start ripping apart this scroll. I want it to look terrible. I'm going to tear the edges. I'm going to distress it with ink. And remember that perfection is the enemy of spooky, okay? You don't want this to be perfect. I want this to look terrible, like it's so old. So just have fun with this part because that's what I did. I really enjoy inking. It seems like it just, I don't know, it's kind of stress relief for me. So yeah, that's what I did. And I used scorched timber to make it all look just very aged and almost like it was burnt or scorched. Now I'm going to start working on the base of my project, which is this octagon picture frame that I got from the Dollar Tree. And what I did is I just took out the glass, and I'm going to remove the back, and I'm going to attach a piece of scrapbook paper. I found this, I can't remember what pack I got it out of. If I find it, I will put the link down in the description box below. But I'm just going to use some Fabri-Tac, and I'm going to put this paper onto the backing of the picture frame. Now, once I did this, I realized it was kind of a step that I really didn't need to do because I ended up covering it all with moss. But that wasn't my intention in the beginning. In the beginning, I was only going to cover half of it with moss. So you could skip this step if you wanted to, but I still think it added a little something. It gave the frame more support and it gave me something to actually glue onto. So this is a step that you don't necessarily have to do. Once I have it glued on, I'm just going to burnish it down just to make sure that it's stuck nice and good or nice and well, whichever the correct term is. And I'm just going to trim around all the excess off so that it fits back onto the frame okay. Now I'm going to take that scorched timber and I'm just going to blacken this up a little bit. I want it a little more darker than what it is. You really don't have to ink the edges because you're not going to see them. So again, this was another step that I really didn't have to do. But I did go over like the top surface of it with the scorched timber just to make it look darker. Yeah, I'm just going to take a sanding block and I'm going to sand this frame. And what this does is it just helps the paint to adhere to the surface better because this is slick surface. So the paint really doesn't want to stick to this. So by sanding it, it just makes it a little more rougher so that I can take my Waverly chalk paint and ink and I can just pounce it onto the frame. And what this does is this just gives this frame a rough texture so that it looks a little more aged. Now I'm going to use this Rub and Buff in antique gold, and I'm going to go over this entire frame over the dry paint. You want to make sure the paint's dry or you're going to get a muddy mess. But I just put a little bit on a paper towel and I'm just going along the edges on the outside, the inside, and on top to give this frame a nice kind of antique gold look, like a mystical golden old look, if you know what I mean. And it really brings out the texture in the paint when you do this. And yeah, I really like how it turned out. Once the frame is dry, we're going to put the backing back onto the frame and we're going to start assembling our project. Here comes the fun, messy part of this project. I'm gonna take some of this green moss that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I thought this was a little bit too green for my project. So what I ended up doing is I took some this brown Spanish moss I got years ago at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just mixing it in with the green moss because I wanted this to look a little more dead and a little more aged. So once I had that all mixed up, I took some hot glue and I just started putting some glue down into my frame so that I can glue this moss onto the frame. Now I wanted to leave a spot there towards the bottom with no moss so that I could glue my mini potion bottles on, but the rest of this side is getting covered with moss, as you can see here. I realized after I started putting down the moss that I really need to do my mini potion bottles so that I can glue those down in order for those to fit into my frame. And then I can glue the moss around the bottles. So, what I did for my potion bottles is I just took some of this cotton swab and I just started tearing it up. And I wanted this to be super light, airy, because these are going to be my bat wing extract. That's the label I'm using off the printable. Again, I will have that down in the description box below. So to get this look, I took these bottles that I got from the Dollar Tree. These are just the glass bottles with the silver lids. And what I did is I messed around with some alcohol ink and stuff like that and just kind of made them a little bit of an amber color. I didn't show that process on video because it took me forever to figure out how to get it to work and how to get these bottles to look this way. And then I just used some Rub and Buff for the top lids of these bottles to turn them gold because I wanted them gold. And yeah, if you ever want me to show you how I did it, I can actually film a separate video on that. It's super easy and not too complicated. It just didn't work the way I wanted it to. But anyways, I put the cotton swab in there and now I'm putting a little bit of alcohol ink in so that I have these like clusters of just look like nasty stuff in this. And I really like the way this turned out, as you can see, and it just looks like there's like it looks like batwing extract. If anybody knows what that looks like. I just kept messing around with it until I really liked how it looked through the glass bottle. The next bottle will have the cobweb dust in that. And to achieve this look, I'm just using the Spanish moss and I'm just adding a little bit in there. And then I'm going to take the alcohol ink and add a few drops of alcohol ink in there to really make this look like it's old, nasty. It's been sitting around for centuries. And it's just going to add to that spooky vibe with the scroll. Now I'm just going to cut the labels out from my printable. I'm going to cut the cobweb dust label out and the batwing, what is it called? The batwing extract label out. I couldn't read it. And I'm just going to make these look really aged and ink them up really good. And then once I have that done, I'm just going to glue them to the bottle. I first used hot glue because I wanted to test it out on the glass, and which kind of made me nervous. I don't know. I get real nervous when it comes with hot things against glass. I don't know. And it stuck really well, but it stuck immediately, so it didn't give me a chance to adjust my label. So on the next potion bottle, I ended up using Fabri-Tac glue, and it stuck just as well, but it also gave me a little extra time to get the label where I needed. And I had to hold the label down with that though until it dried. So pick your poison with this, no pun intended. They both work really well and they both have their advantages. Right before I glued the bottles down, I realized that they were the same height and I kind of wanted them different heights. So I tried using these double-sided this double-sided foam tape in black. And I thought this would give it enough difference in height, but it ended up not making much of a difference at all. So you don't even have to do this step either. I still ended up having to use hot glue to glue the bottle to the frame because when the frame set up, for some reason the foam tape was wanting to come off the frame. So I added just a line of hot glue to the back and I glued it onto the frame. Now with the second potion bottle, I did go ahead and add two of the foam dots to add a little more height. Like I said, it didn't make much of a difference at all. So this is another step you can skip, but I mean, it did give it a little bit of a height difference, just not as much as I wanted. Okay, now that the bottles are glued on, we can go back to playing around in our messy moss. And I'm just going to fill in the areas around the potion bottles so that you can't see that black foam tape. And it just helps make the bottles look a little more spookier and like they belong with the piece. Let's go back to our printable and let's cut out the message scroll that says the veil is thin, the message is clear. What was once was lost is now held near. And we're just going to cut it out and I'm going to rip it because that seems to be the theme of the day. I'm ripping everything, which here lately, that's how I like things to look. It just makes it look aged. And I'm going to wrinkle it, crinkle it, we're going to ink it, we're going to rough it up, and we're going to fit it right up there above the bottles. That's why you don't see any moss up there. I left that blank so that this will be able to glue down easily. Once I have it the way I like it and I have it torn out so that it fits this space perfectly, I'm just going to take some Fabri-Tac glue and I'm going to glue this down with my Fabri-Tac glue. I know, we're not done with the moss yet. I'm going to go back in, I'm going to add a little bit more moss down underneath the message scroll so that it just looks like it belongs there, like the moss has grown around it. Now, let's whip up some creepy tags. These are the kind of details that are going to make people want to lean in and really look at this. I love working with tags. So this is like my favorite part of the project. So what I did is I cut out the unearthed tag from my printable and I just decided to grunge it up. You know, I punched out the hole I needed for my ribbon. I'm wadding it up. I'm scrunching it up. I'm inking it up. I'm making it look aged and old. And once I do that, I'm taking some of these rub-on transfers from the Dollar Tree. I got these a couple years back. They might still have them this year. And I wanted a spider on this tag. So I cut out the spider from the transfers and I just rubbed it on to my tag. So that's what I'm doing to decorate my tag. I'm making it look spooky. This is the tag that's going to go around the scroll, the mysterious scroll. So you want the tag to look as mysterious as the scroll. So once I rub this spider on there, I'm going to put a word that I found in my, I don't know, label box that says wicked, and I'm going to glue that above the unearthed. And my tag will be decorated and ready for my scroll. Now that my tag's all decorated, I put a piece of jute twine through the hole of my tag and I'm rolling my scroll up so that I can tie the tag and the jute twine around the scroll. And I'm going to do this in a way that we're able to untie it and actually unroll the scroll to be able to read it. So I'm just tucking it underneath and then I'm going to tie it on top in a loose knot. That way people can interact with this piece. You can untie it, unroll it, and read what the scroll says if you dare. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Once I have everything tied up, I'm just going to run a bead of hot glue underneath the scroll and I'm going to hold it down until it dries because if you don't, it's not going to stick to the moss very well. And once I have it stuck down, you can see that you're still able to untie the scroll and unroll the scroll and interact with this project. I think this was so fun to make and I really love doing this. Here I'm just taking my scissors and I'm just giving it a little trim, trying to trim off some of this excess moss. And then what I do is I turn it over and I tap the back to get rid of any loose moss that's just sitting on top. That way, when I have it sitting on my table or my mantle or something, moss doesn't just come falling off. And now we're just going to add all the little extra embellishments. This is some of the labels that's still on that printable that I'll have for you down in the description box below. I just wanted to add a little something extra to this, so I took the label Cursed Object, I tore it out, inked it, and I'm going to glue it underneath the scroll. Then I took the Do Not Disturb the Scroll label, and again, I really inked this up, tore it, um, just made it look aged, and I glued it above the scroll. And there you have it, your witch's message scroll, ready to hex yourself. Anyways, if you like this DIY, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.